Yeah. Yeah, we've been waiting a long time for this show. It felt like we've been promoting it for like 4 weeks. But no. Actually, you guys have myself here. Oh, I froze. Look at that. Oh no. What a worst time for okay, are we good? Oh, I think my neighbor's on my Wi-Fi. Okay, before we have any mess ups. This is the face for the show today. My partner in crime, Dell, is on a nice, well-deserved vacation with the family. So instead, I have my buddy. Here we go, James from Comic Uprising from IG.
What am I doing here again? Oh man, I'm such honored.
All right, yeah, I need a guy. I need a guy. I need a color
guy.
man. I need a guy.
Hey, I got the color, so you know.
All right. So
Here we
as
go.
you guys know, we're going to be talking. Basically, the whole show will be AI heavy. We're going to be talking about it's crazy, especially now with the Spawn stuff that came up.
Ooh,
It's crazy.
That
It's crazy.
hit heavy today.
Oh, this is what we have. We're going to bring in Anna Banana.
Hi.
Zhao,
Hey,
I'm featuring my dog.
and her dog Czar.
Yay.
Yay. Then we got I don't want to say it, but we got
You gotta say it.
we got thick Daddy Z here.
Oh, hey, look.
Oh, look at that!
oh
No.
Oh,
So we're
What up?
Big
Oh, look at Dell all of a sudden.
Dell.
Made a
That being
show.
said, we also
Hold
go
on,
ahead,
hold
Dell.
on.
Go ahead, Dell. Go ahead.
It's because for
Oh,
Oh.
he got cut off.
Anyways, now here's a guy who just showed up that I didn't think was going to show up on time, but apparently he's all right, Mr.
Oh,
Bartling.
hey,
Oh,
Aaron.
Hey.
Hey.
So guys,
Everything okay over there?
Everything good with the house? We're all good.
yeah, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, they checked it out and everything's good. So
good shit.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just
That's good.
maybe
That's a scare.
could have just been
Yeah.
for Munda.
yeah, I didn't go
Munda.
to the garage because I was like, oh man, when something explodes.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Makes for good TV, or
Knock
you know,
on wood.
Miss for a good podcast.
Knock
Aaron,
on wood.
He
next
sounds
time-
really echoey to me.
Yeah, you seem kind of echoey, Aaron.
I'm echoing. All right, let me leave and come back. One second.
No.
Well, no, I mean it
No,
sounds like
yeah.
you're using
Empty
your
room.
are you using your like laptop mic.
Yeah. So
No, it's because you're in a big ass room. That's why.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
I had the same
Um,
Hear
problem.
him fine.
Okay, we're fine. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Look at
5.
three artists here. Martin's the only one drawing. Look at that go
Yeah. Well, speaking
Dedication, man. Dedication.
speaking of Martin drawing, while we're doing this, Martin is drawing, and he informed us he's going to be doing a giveaway.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let me
So
show
he'll
you.
be-
What's that?
Yeah, he's going to show us. So Martin
Oh.
Oh.
is going to be
Yeah.
giving away.
A remark print of the
Hold on.
gunslinger that I did actually for SpawnCon.
There you go. Look at
Oh,
that.
that's sick.
Perfect timing with everything we're going to talk about.
Yep. So
Yeah.
stay
Come
tuned.
on. Ha
Cool. So that's what
Stay
Martin's
tuned.
going to be giving away. So I'm going to wait a little bit. We're going to do a trivia question. It's all going to be about that fool right there. So I'm going to ask you guys a trivia question about Big Daddy Moron. And
Daddy moron. Wow.
we're going to see how
No.
this works out. And if you guys guess the right answer, it's going to be a tough one because you got to know about this guy.
Yeah.
So let me tell you why it's being so tough, because it's a pretty badass drawing. So we're not going to make it that easy. Like pick a number to the 1 through 8. We're not going to do that shit. Okay. So
Aw,
here we go.
man.
All right.
I thought I had a shot, but now
That's Martin A. Zavala. He calls
Yes.
himself
Yeah.
Thick Daddy Z. That's what
I
you're
go
gonna
by-
call him tonight.
That's my
Yeah.
OnlyFans. Follow me, tip me. OnlyFans.
So
so
We
then
got-
with that,
we got some, yeah. I just glossed over a lot of stuff Martin says. So
Yeah.
the other thing is, so this is the other thing. There is no other thing. It's the world of AI and the shit storm that it has been creating among the artists in this community. I consider myself part of the community, not like as an artist per se, but we in Dell and the Comic Menu, we support the living shit out of you guys, and we are so against AI. It's not even funny, right? So that being said, let's talk about the hot topic right now, and that is the Spanuary contest. And how many winners do they choose?
It's like
Uh,
5
4
in
of each.
is it 4 of
Yeah,
each
there was like 20 in total
category?
or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. Well, the word around the campfire, and it's not even so much a word, it's almost fact, that one of the winners, in case you guys have been living under a rock, apparently used AI and he won. Many are thinking, well, how involved was the Todd father in this choosing of the winners? Or did they just basically put some in front of him and said, how does this look? He looked at it, said, looks great. And then there we go. Right. It's bullshit. We know many people, including someone in this panel who did a drawing. You didn't do one, did you, Martin?
I just presented it.
He
Oh,
just
okay.
did. So both of them did. I didn't.
Yeah,
That's
no
right.
love,
See, I told
bro.
you I don't even listen. So let me see if I can do this, because this is the cool part.
Oh, yeah, like I was gonna like, hey, present like my screen and show all the freaking drama and screenshots of it.
Well,
It's been going crazy today.
well,
It's
the thing.
ridiculous.
Oh, you know what? It's not working for me. God damn.
Well, here's the thing about it. Like, so you asked how involved was Todd in the selection process. I personally think it was, like you said, it was just presented in front of him. Swipe, go next, go next, go next. Like, they didn't even vet the profile or look up who the hell they are. It's just whatever cool are, he goes next, and then whatever the next pool is, and then they just go down, go down, go down. At least I'm hoping there was a mistake. Because
I'm
there's
on the
so
second
many
down
like
on that.
great art. Yeah.
Because when I was in his live for his charity event, he was talking about how he was overwhelmed with the
Yeah.
submission.
It's a lot.
So, yeah, so I am totally agreeing with you on that one. That he was just swiping. So
Yeah, Nita said, I bet they just drew names. No, that's Aaron's. Yeah.
This is Aaron. This is the one I think should have won.
Yeah.
It's not because Aaron's a homeboy, but
Sucker.
and not because I don't like Martin, but I don't know, man. I mean,
you
how
got
can
that.
how can this something like this just not do it? It fucking bugs the shit out of me. It really does. It actually, and I'm not even an artist, and it boils my blood that someone can get away with this kind of shit. It's such a big event. I mean, that's all people talked about was the Spanuary. And then I'm putting in this and putting in that. I mean, it drives me crazy that the potential winner, well, not potential, a winner was someone who uses AI. And it drives me crazy.
Well, the other artists that won in other categories, they were fine. And obviously,
I have to ask all the artists here: did you guys literally have fun with seeing all of the crazy art coming from random places, being inspired and all that? Before we jump into just shit cannon this whole thing.
It was pretty fun to see everybody hop on, but I knew for sure that I wasn't gonna do one per week. I knew for sure I was too busy, and I was like, it was fun to see, but there was fire coming from everywhere, bro. It was intimidating almost.
That's what I like. Across seas, there was some crazy stuff I was seeing. I was like,
that
crazy.
People were just bringing some crazy ass fire to the table. That I'm like, dude, I don't. Why am I even trying this? But
so just like I come from the Instagram, and there's a lot of claim sales. When someone claims and doesn't pay, you have stripped somebody that wanted a book, right? So this is what this AI BS kind of irritates me on a new level, because now a cover, an artist, all that talent, somebody else should be in that pool.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm getting really pissed off about it, just thinking about it. So
like were you gonna say something, Aaron?
go for it.
I was just gonna say I still can't believe that that Ivan and Miko didn't get to.
Oh my god.
Especially Miko's, man, when I saw his spawn, I was like, that is ridiculous. That was so good.
Yeah.
I'm just not to take away from a lot of the people that were picked, because there was some really
Right.
great pieces. But man, some of those other pieces I saw were just absolutely killer.
Like I didn't enter, but like me as an artist looking at all the entries, it is inspiring. It's cool. Like I've seen like people's twists, because you know when you're in the comic industry and you look at comics, sometimes they kind of all look the same. So when you have contests like this, it's like you get people from all sorts of areas, industries, or who weren't even in comic industry. They just like the character looks cool and they're drawing, and then you see these new ideas, and I personally find it cool, and it makes me want to draw. But of course, you know, I was doing I thought about entering, and I'm like, nah, there's gonna be so many entries, and I don't know. This sounds like a fishy contest kind of thing too. So, but I think it's a good opportunity for people to like hone their skill as well and draw something that they're not used to drawing as either.
So,
So-
I think you just nailed it right there, though. Like you were inspired by real artists doing real things. So now tonight's whole conversation is AI, and AI is pulling all of us and you guys brains together and putting it out, and basically muddying up the whole thing. It's like a muddy canvas, or is it a perfect canvas? Too perfect. So I think we should just get into it. Like, what's with this cover? What do you guys think? Like, when you see this cover existing, what does an artist think? You know,
I think
have fun.
I think, like, obviously it's frustrating, but I think the thing that really pissed me off personally was the way, what's his name? Robot 9000, right?
Robot 9000.
Yeah, the main person of interest right now. So the thing that bothered me the most was just the way he went about it. Like if you look at his response and how just unprofessional, just
He's
like
troll,
the worst kind of person. You know what I mean? And that's how you're gonna go about it. You know, and I think that's what just really set me over the edge with it when I was already frustrated enough. And then to see that was like awesome, cool. It's cool to know that there's people out there like that. Awesome.
The trolling was like a freaking high school kid, and he said he's like 55, a multimedia artist, a professor. I'm like, is this a fake persona, or are you just like, you know, it's hard cap?
What gets me is his response shows me what kind of character he is. Period. Okay. If he could have said, "Hey guys, I didn't use AI. I have a show of work. I have a time lapse. I have this. I have that. Whatever it is," that's kind of going like, "No, honestly, guys, I really did do this. Really, I want you to believe me." But instead of going like, "Fuck you guys, eat your shit. I've been doing this. I'm 55 years old.
You guys are so losers.
You guys are so losers. Just because you didn't win, do better." You know, I drink. You know, I eat soup with a fork because he's a fucking moron. You know, it doesn't help his cause. So if people already had a feeling about him before, well, they sure have a feeling about him now, right? But if the way he goes off, he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care.
But the funny thing is, he purposely. So if you go on his profile, everything he tags AI, stable diffusion, Midjourney, everything AI art, whatever. You can tell it's AI throughout his entire profile. And then on those specific pieces, he edited and wrote, "Hey ma, no AI," and then doesn't have the AI tags. But in this new one where he was like trying to like talk crap about everybody else, how he smoked everybody and waxed everybody, he specifically told us his process, which included stable diffusion and the app called Runaway, which makes video as an AI app. And he also tagged AI art. I'm like, I'm sure this guy has like a copy and paste hashtag notepad or something, but like, come on, dude. And I'm really hoping Todd and
he
his
seems
team
like a
just
troll, but like,
fucking,
why the fuck did he get picked? Like,
so when you say some of those things, some of those programs, what do they do? Like to someone that's just a collector and they're curious what the hell AI is destroying. when you mention a couple of those stabilization things, call me naive for a second. Can you like tell me like why that changes the art so much?
Okay, I don't know if
Yeah.
Aaron wanted
I
to
don't know.
Oh
or
no. Yeah.
I don't know about that
so
program.
so the thing about these why we're upset with this whole if you don't know what we're talking about is something called generative AI. And what it does is these programs, companies like Midjourney, the notorious Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Dolly, they need data to run these programs. And the data is scraped from the internet, which is like Google. DeviantArt sold our images, whatever you have on DeviantArt, to Midjourney. And I think recently Tumblr and WordPress is selling it to OpenAI, without our permission. So all this information, all this data is given to these guys and used as open source. And what these programs do is they have all these data. You type a prompt, you type a text. Let's say I type slash. So you have to go on Discord. They have a program run there, and you slash describe. Let's say I want Aaron Bartling style, right? I write Aaron Bartling, and then all these other, let's say Spawn, smoking a cigarette in a sunset on a beach or whatever.
Okay.
And then it'll pop up an image with Aaron, takes some of Aaron's data, his style, whatever work he has listed online that they're trading on, and it mumbles jumble with other existing data they have stole to come up with that image.
Well, thank you for explaining that because
Sorry, I'm not great at
no.
explaining, but
But that's a concept. Is you're literally taking somebody's good hard work, mixing it with some other stuff, and making it cleaner, different, and then you call it your own. That's the biggest.
You call yourself the artist.
Yes, and that is the biggest turn in the most unfortunate part of this whole thing, is that people are claiming and making money at this too, which is literally taking money out of your pockets.
I can type my name, Aaron's name, Martin's name in the same prompt. It'll take whatever existing art that was on Google or whatever that we have posted on DeviantArt, because I have DeviantArt on, and then it mumbles jumbles all styles together, whatever it is, and then we can add Artgerm to the mix. We can take Alan Quat in the mix, even Josh Lyman in the mix, and mumble jumble into something in under less than a minute. And I think right now it's so fast that you can generate like 40 different images. You could just pick from it and then tweak it.
So, and I'm sorry if I'm asking dumb questions here, but when you go into a convention and these AI artists are slipping in, how are they detected? And it's really freaking annoying as a collector, as someone who I draw, sure, but I don't know sometimes what I'm collecting unless I go meet the person. That's why I meet you guys all at cons to actually see you and get your signature and love the art that you do. But I am curious for my daughter walking down I love that. Boom. What is that? And all of a sudden I've contributed to the ever-growing AI problem, let's say. So I'm just curious, I don't know what I'm really saying, but I'm just putting it out there that
I get what you're saying.
going.
I don't know if I'm not trying to hog the shows. I don't know if Martin or Aaron wants to say anything about
it's very recognizable for me. I see it as buttery art.
Buttery.
It's like it's got some kind of freaking sheen, and you can tell they didn't paint it. There's a certain booth I know me and Anna have seen, and
it's like you're not seeing the marks, you're not seeing that human aspect of it. That's why a lot of the AI art has a very it's obviously ridiculously rendered, it's super tight, but it lacks the life. It has no soul. It feels very dead. And I feel like that's why you'll never be able to replace the human, because we have that. We're able to bring. I took some Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, continue.
No, go.
continue.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I took, I listened to a TED Talk by an artist named Steven Zapata. Not sure if you guys have heard of him. He's a concept artist, and he did a TED Talk, and I took some notes from the TED Talk, and it's pretty interesting. And one of them says, it's what AI is doing is it's taking the experience of artists, all these professionals who have, poured decades into their craft, and it's taking that experience and it's putting them into these systems, and then the credit and the compensation is not given back to the creators.
Mm-mm.
And then another note is, this is the interesting part, is that all these guys, like the Robot 9000 guy, he doesn't realize that this, if it wasn't for the true artists, the true creators, he wouldn't be able to do what he's doing, because I think this note nails it so perfectly. It's the quality of the training data that determines the quality of output. So basically, the better the creative inputs, the better the creative outputs. So basically, what that's saying is, obviously, the better the illustrator, the better the work, then they're just going to be pulling that data. And so it's like, if it wasn't for these amazing illustrators out there, you wouldn't have these prompts to put in and have these immaculate renderings that are coming out, because it's pulling from all these different voices of all these different artists. This culmination of different voices, and that's what it is. It's an artistic voice, and it's pulling from that, and it doesn't care. It has nothing attached. It's just doing what it's told to do, and it's sucking the life out of what these people have put their blood, sweat, and tears for years into, and it's just it's a travesty, to be honest.
So basically, what Aaron's saying is, if all you artists were shitty and someone used AI, they would get shitty result.
Yeah.
It would just be a shitty, like, people going, oh, that's horrible. That's AI, horrible AI art. Well, it's because it came from horrible artists.
Well, here's the thing, though. Technology always gets better. It always gets smarter, and then it always improves. So right now, I know a lot of people in the industry haven't really seen. I actually am in a AI group just to keep tabs of what's the most up to date, and it's freaking scary how realistic it's not. It's past the whole messed up thing. The obvious is usually the messed up fingers, the feet, the eyes, and when we draw as a human artist, when we draw symmetrically, both sides are the same. They don't have two different belts, 5 different hair strands. They're different. It's obvious.
I've heard that a lot. The hair, particularly,
it's evolving.
It's
really evolving.
The hair, where it was Mid-Journey, I think the Niji filter or whatever. The hair were constant loops out of nowhere. So as an artist, I'm inspired in my manga, and I drew loops in hair, but it makes sense. Whereas this AI, it's like you can have hair coming out of nowhere, and it's just tens and thousands of loops. But
so
it gets better.
So I don't know if you read. I don't know if you read, James. So Zerdy said that.
Yeah, I saw that, Zerdy.
Yes. So Vampirella and an art gym, mashing together, and that's what you get, and that's why people be like, "That's such a badass art." Well, it's grabbing from Artgerm and Zerdy. I mean, duh. Of course, it's gonna be pretty badass.
But the scary part with that is, let's say, an artist who knows what they're doing, and they do that and fix
the problems. Yep. I've been curious about that.
That's who they're hiring too. So let's say you have those all over conventions. How can you really tell then? Usually the people that sell AI right now in conventions, it's really easy to tell. I mean, but who they're getting at is probably, no offense to you or your daughter, James, but hey, it looks cool. I want that.
That's exactly why I wanted to be on here, is be that average person that walks through and says, I don't know what the hell's going on. I just think I see pretty things.
Right. and that comes from that's the responsibility of the convention at that point to jury every artist and vendor that comes in, which a lot of shows do jury.
Mhm.
But that requires extra staff as well, and to jury they have staff walk around every now and then around the show, but they have to know what they're doing and how to spot it themselves. So that's extra work, and a lot of cons might not even want to do it. So that's
Well, I've heard of some cons booting out people who set up a booth that are completely AI.
right.
But the thing is that how do they get in? Right? How did they even get a booth to start with?
That was it. The San Diego girl.
It might have been.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was the I think that was the only case that was
Mhm.
kind of widespread. So San Diego's notorious. You have to be juried hard. You actually have to submit a portfolio. She's been in there before. So what happens is they sneak it in and sell it at their table. No one's inspecting, no one's looking, but because of the artists around her, they notice it, they say something, because all those artists are hardworking artists that work their ass off to be there. San Diego is hard to get in.
Extremely.
Sorry, I'm kind of getting a little like heated, so it's like
it's once again, I'm not even remotely as an artist. I create, I make wood, I work with wood, and I do other stuff. But when it comes to putting pen and paper, I'm in awe when you guys do it. And to even think about someone stealing your guys' art and plagiarizing it and pawning it as their own, it is straight up just theft. And for all you guys who put in all the hard work in your Sponuary stuff with Ivan and Martin and Aaron to get beat out, such a bad taste. And Aaron's been seething since probably the list came out. He's like, hey, listen, if I didn't, Aaron's probably like, hey, if I didn't win, cool, man. There's a lot of artists out there who they're just so badass. But for that to slip under the radar and for everyone to lose their shit and justifiably so. Man, my Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
I hate the fact that this is happening.
I'm kind of curious if
Go ahead, Aaron.
it's like it could be two things. Like I think there's either the vetting process for a lot of stuff is not as thorough as it needs to be, or it's another. Which the second option would be they know about it and they just blatantly don't care. So there was a story, and I was listening to a podcast the other day, and I didn't know anything about this, but apparently, if you guys follow Wizards of the Coast,
Yes.
so obviously,
Yep.
Hasbro too.
huge IP. So they, I guess, apparently back in January of this year, they posted something on their Twitter, and it was an image that was doctored by AI. And do you guys know who Dave Raposa is? The artist?
Yes.
Yes.
Familiar with him?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yep.
so
Madam
Dave.
covers.
So Dave was really. He's worked with Magic for a long time, and he was really hurt and angered by it when he saw it, and he called them out, and he said, "Hey, this is AI." And what they did was, they basically said like, "No, it's not. Like we would never do that." And they stood by what they said. And so he put up another post saying, "Okay, you know what? Like I'm done with you guys. Basically, like poof, that's it. I'm walking away from Magic, and I'm not working with you guys anymore because I'm going to take a stand against that, especially because Wizards has been so passionate from the beginning, saying, hey, we're not going to hire any AI people."
Yeah.
So basically what happened was Magic ended up going back and retracting what they said and apologized for it and said, hey, after further investigation, we found out that I'm guessing it's the marketing team or whatever, posted this piece, and they said supposedly that it was, they say this, but I don't believe it, but apparently it was AI doctored, and then somebody, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, somebody did a paint over. And it's like when they're doing a paint over, it's like how much are you actually doing that's a paint over? Are you rendering like two little things and then saying, oh, it's a complete paint over, I mean, in any case, it's bad no matter what. But that was their justification, was saying, oh, well, we use AI, but then we applied, the artists applied a paint over it, so it's not technically fully AI, or whatever excuse they came up with. So, but what I'm curious is, like, these companies, obviously multi-million-dollar companies like Blizzard's, is the vetting process not good? Like, because they obviously have their marketing teams, right? So these marketing teams are just posting stuff, and maybe they're just naive. Maybe they don't know. They're just like, oh, hey, it looks cool. It's telling the information we need to tell. We post it, boom, done, and that's it. Or are the higher ups, they know about it, they've seen it, and they're like, they know it's AI, and they're like, well, hey, we're trying to cut corners, and we're, like a lot of these companies do, they're trying to save money. That's what this is all about. It's about eliminating artists, because at the end of the day, it's the same thing as all these other companies that are utilizing AI. It's to eventually push the human out so that we can use machines to to circumvent not having to spend as much. So it's the same thing with artists. All these people, I've seen people say, like, oh, we're not trying to get rid of artists. AI is used as a tool. It's a tool to help the artists. No, it's absolutely not. Whoever thought of and came up with this idea, it was designed to eliminate artists so that these companies don't have to. It's the same thing as Hollywood and all this stuff going on with the SAG strikes. It's like, why do you think all these actors were so pissed off? Because they're like, I don't want my face being superimposed on some random guy, and then I'm not getting compensation for it. I'm not getting any kind of credit for it. It's the same exact thing, and that's all it is. It's designed to. It's these huge corporations. At the end of the day, they do not care. They only care about profit, and they don't care about who it hurts, down to the individual. And
ethics don't matter to them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
well, no, I mean, right? I mean, the whole thing that they could even as an extra, right? They could get your face once and then reuse it throughout the movies, and you never get compensated for each individual scene that you're in or every single movie that you're in. But they could reuse your face to the end of time as a backup talent. It's so the question is. So someone actually said it. Yes, we know this is the issue. What do you guys think is the solution? What do you guys think? Where's this going to go? Where's this going to be?
I think it's going to get worse, in my opinion.
I think the next steps is going to be legal, and I think truly, I'm just waiting for the day that it's going to happen. I think Disney's going to come in and they're going to throw down the Thor hammer, and it's all going to start with Disney. I feel like, because they're going to see that, hey, look at all of our characters, look at our IP, and they're being utilized by all these AI artists and corporations and stuff they're going to make a lot of money off that. And if it's not Disney, then I feel like it's going to be someone else. And nothing really has gone to legal yet. And I feel like once it gets to that point, then I feel like things will actually start moving. The ball is going to start rolling, and maybe I think maybe it's going to come to a point where they're going to implement some type of consent law. Like you have to give some type of consent to be able to release the rights to your style, your voice, or whatever. I don't know how that's going to look. I don't know how that's going to play out. But yeah,
it makes sense.
So there has been a fight legally for a while now.
Well, I know Carla Ortiz stuff has been.
Yeah, Carla Ortiz, and she's a Magic the Gathering artist too. And her and two others have been to the Senate, and the case was dismissed because. So their case was against DeviantArt, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, because DeviantArt sold our data and stuff to them, to put it short. And the Senate ended up dismissing it because there's no way for them to prove that 100% of the data that was being used is taken from artists. But this is an ongoing fight. So, and like Zerdy said, there was a ruling in China because there was a huge fiasco in China with AI, that they're banning AI. But China's always been very strict about that kind of stuff. But there are legal cases that are going on. Even was it NVIDIA, Activision They laid off like 1,600 people or so, and then they formed a union. Riot Gaming was about the same too. A lot of people got laid off because replacing artists. But their thing is cutting back from the COVID thing and hiring, over hiring, under hiring, whatever their excuses.
It's true because AI obviously doesn't just affect the artists, as Red is saying. They're replacing engineers, people who do codes, a lot of DevOps people, cybersecurity. A lot of this stuff is being replaced by. So in other words, I'm a tech manager. If I was a startup and I said, well, we don't need to hire 4 techs, I can just hire one guy, and he does all the stuff, with ChatGPT, puts in documents, and it comes up, sends it out to people. This is how you fix your stuff, blah blah blah. It's pretty global, and it is just putting people out of work, and that's the scary part.
Yeah, I'm in part of it's a smaller anti-AI rights group who Carla and John Lamb is part of. One person asked a good question. She was going from medical field to graphic designing, and most of the hires so they lay off people, but the new openings has always been people who can alter AI, who can fix the AI, because AI is not perfect right now, and that's all they're hiring, and it's just you're being replaced very quickly, and they don't need 5 techs. They just need one person who knows the tech and know how to fix what ChatGPT tells you.
I like that scary is going to come to a scary point when the training data is so good that there is no longer any issues. It's running as well as it can. And then how does an artist, like, is it going to come to a point where an artist has to somehow put up some type of defense to say, no, this is my work? Well, how is anyone going to know? They could say, well, that they could accuse you of, oh, that's AI, and then is the artist going to have to somehow do a time lapse every single piece they do to prove that they?
It's really tiring.
Are a lot of you guys time lapsing and recording your artwork now more than ever?
I mean, I just automatically do it because I use Procreate, but that's not some normal thing a lot of people do unless you do it for content.
Yeah,
you know how much data that is on your computer? Like, most people don't record themselves drawing. That's why, like, some of these AI bros who all of a sudden have this work in progress after video, it's like, oh my god. But
so the solution though is there a solution to this, or is this just the way of the world now? And if it be that, how do we
man. Corporations rule the world, and
so how do you curb it so that you can put the favor back? Because again, there's so many things. You could look at the music industry. You can look at music industry being a big one. That one, when everyone knows Napster, but it was happening before then, and it destroyed music. I mean, it's coming back, actually, from what I can tell. There's actually some creative kids out there doing some really cool stuff again, but it took like 20 years of. So for the art, I am curious because I saw somewhere in the chat that you're only as good as like your reference. Like if you're just getting started, like I did a Venom drawing this morning just because I wanted to sketch. Well, I used a reference, of course, but what if that becomes an AI reference, and then you're referencing perfect all the time? Is that good art? Is that like all of a sudden you're, like you said, the human element's gone, and you're, I don't know, it's just kind of a messed up world.
I mean, if you go on Google, you type up something for reference, most of your Google results are going to be AI, and right now, if you just Google some random person, like I was looking for some muscle anatomy, and all I get are these weird AI anatomy. It's wrong. And if you think about the future generation of artists like you that just started, and you look at this, I mean, obviously, you know what real anatomy is, but like, you know, kids that are growing up wanting to copy because you know we trace, we copy, and that's how we
That's
learn,
how
right?
you start, is the
And you go
tracing.
on
Yeah.
Google, and like 90% is AI trash as reference. Like, what's gonna become of creatives in the future? But right now, Google's actually fed up with it too, and they might do something about filtering it, which might affect how Midjourney and Stable Diffusion gets data as well. So I don't know.
Because I
It's
was really curious, because I was listening just like Aaron there to some podcasts, knowing that I was going to be on the show. And it's interesting what people are saying. And I heard a quote or listened to a quote that said, when art isn't a luxury, it's really just the substance that really matters. And it becomes the substance of the world. Um, I was like, he was basically saying that you're just going to have to deal with AI, blend it in, and then kind of make your own new thing, and art will prevail at the end of the day.
people say
And
adapt or die. That's a
yeah,
pretty like
and
popular saying right now.
and again, for someone that's just starting, and though I haven't just started, but I know a lot of people and a lot of kids are starting right now, and they're wondering, what do I do? Do I Procreate? Oh, am I fully digital, or am I painting, or am I doing this, that? But AI sitting there going, well, I can do it in 2 seconds, just like I can do your paper in school in 2 seconds.
The good thing about the creative industry is even though there's going to be AI and there are, people who want to buy AI stuff, I don't know why, there will always be people like in the comments who appreciate
Yeah,
actual artwork
that
by
was gonna be
made by
my next.
humans that spent a lot of time and effort, years honing their craft, and
Hmm.
buy it.
What were you saying, Martin?
That was gonna be my next point. That I feel like, well, this shit only makes us better. That there's always those people that want to buy the traditional art, the real, I guess, real art. You know, I hear it all the time from my clients and fans. You know that, oh, I just love holding it. I like looking at every detail, the streaks, and I love how they walk away still staring at that thing. So in a way, AI can't do that shit. So
It is true.
I feel like it benefits us in a way.
If you go to a museum and you look at an
Yeah.
actual Rembrandt or a Picasso or any of the big ones, and you see the brush strikes, right? You see the brush
Mhm.
marks, you see the lines of the brush. You can see where maybe they messed up, right? You don't get that with an AI. Why the fuck would I want to pay for AI art that I can create myself?
Just go pay
Why?
Yeah.
$10 on Midjourney and create it yourself.
And
I
I'll
don't
just
know
pay
why people are
myself.
paying
Why
premium
am I going to buy?
dollars.
I'm not going to pay you just because you came up. But as a newbie, James, for example, if your daughter saw or your son goes, "Oh, cool, Venom arm wrestling with Batman," that's so cool. That of course you're like, okay, that's what you want. Are you going to go? No, son, we're not going to buy that because it's AI art.
And it's also affordable, you know,
And
where you can just
$5.
buy that shit. Yeah.
well,
Right.
see, I don't know about you guys, but like for me, I appreciate and like all types of art, even modern art. I
Well,
know a
I
lot of
am.
people don't understand all of that and whatever. But, I mean, it's still art. It's just a different form.
Sure.
And sometimes some of these AI bros, that's their argument. But you're you're literally stealing other people's work and mashing it together and creating something. It's like, what was the joke I made? Like, if you took a recipe online and you cook the meal for like 3 hours, 4 hours, I take it and I tell everybody I'm the chef. I made this.
It's my recipe.
Wouldn't you be fucking pissed?
Well, that's exactly
Taking your
what's
hard
going
work.
on.
Go ahead,
Yes.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah.
I was talking to a buddy about it, and we were saying that it's this is kind of like tangenty a little bit, but I mean it still correlates to the AI stuff. But I feel like this issue is not just about AI art. I think it's so multi-layered, it's so multifaceted. I think a lot of it comes down to how we've been, and I don't want to get all like crazy conspiracy and all that stuff, but we are really being programmed. Like the way we operate, the way we think, like these social media companies, they have a mission in mind, they have a goal in mind, especially for this younger generation that's coming up. And it's all about it's convenience culture. So if you take convenience culture, people that have especially this generation coming up, they want everything instantaneous. They don't want to work for it. They don't want to put in any hours, any dedication. They want it right here, right now. And that's what AI is. It's just like Martin said, you can pay a really low amount and you get an epic result. And you had to put no effort, no time, no years of dedication into the craft, and you get it right away. It's the same. It's so ingrained in our culture, especially because of social media. I think that's been probably the biggest influence and catalyst to why we operate the way we do. And it boggles and blows my mind that these guys that do the AI art that they're. I just wonder like how truly.
How do you go to sleep? How do you go to bed?
Yeah, like how are you honestly sitting there and saying like I know when I finish a piece and I'm really proud of it, like you get that dopamine hit, you get that endorphin
satisfaction.
Like, damn, man, like I made that, I created that, like I did that, and it's like there's no way in hell that these AI guys like they're sitting there being like getting that fulfilling feeling in the deepest parts of your soul as a human being. You're not feeling that. You're just it's so empty. It's an empty skeleton, and that's what you're getting. And I just truly don't see how they could think,
Well, here's the thing. I mean, playing devil's advocate. What if they just don't care about that and all they care is that they get a paycheck and feed their family? Just like any other job, I'm just playing devil's advocate here,
Yeah,
They don't feel anything. I mean, it's just another thing for them to make money. And that's what it is.
But for them it's just a job and not a passion.
Yeah.
You guys, yes, it's a job. It feeds your family, but you guys also put passion into it. You guys actually put the time. You put in the months and the days for commission.
That's what people buy, bro.
And that's what people buy for the fact that Aaron and Martin and Anna are not just doing cooking cutter pieces. They are pieces that really put some thought into it. And if a commission, if I say, Aaron, can you do like Spawn, like just with maybe 4 arms with guns, and you're like, oh, I could do something with that. And you do something with that, right? And I know that you gave the time for that. We live in a society with 10 to 15-second TikTok videos. We live in a society where we could binge a movie, a TV show in one night if you wanted to. Back in the old days, you would have to wait every single fucking week for the next episode, right? And it would build
You're
some
showing
kind
your
of
age, man.
Oh, 100%, man.
I'm joking.
You know what I'm saying? But and like Aaron said, we live.
Caesar, you're old.
We live. I'm the oldest motherfucker here. We live in a society where it is like you said. I want it now. I don't want to wait for Martin to a couple months for Batman arm wrestling Venom. I want it now, and I want to see how cool it looks. And they do it, and that's what's missing in today's society is passion in what you do. And you guys all have passion with what you do, and us as people who respect and love the what you guys do, we thank you for it. I just want to tell you guys that.
And then I think I want to double down on that I think the collecting society that I'm pretty big in right now will hold it to, I mean, it's a family. We don't want to see our books drop in value because AI comes flooding in and destroy all these books that we have behind us, and that we're having fun as a family among the comic community, learning about art and seeing all the cool stuff you guys bring out. So hell no. I do think that there's going to be a check and balance there. Now, your average commercial art, I think that's fucked. That's going AI, and no one's going to stop it. And
there are like random posters that people make, like they cut graphic designers and all that. They can just turn on AI, put it on a wall, slap it somewhere, and people walk by, see it for 1 second, and that's it. Of course they're going to cut costs. Why are they spending so much on graphic designers?
Well, speaking of that, screw paying somebody to do a logo.
Oh yeah, I saw because of all the AI shit on my Facebook, there's like all these apps that pop up. Hey, you want a logo? Just put this, put some bumfuck picture and then make a logo. Crap. That's it. Why pay someone like $300 for an official logo?
Why? You could just on Instagram on the Dracula's Wolf, I had Amy Good she did it hand drawn and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But if I was the guys who didn't give a fuck, I would just put in give me a Dracula and a wolf together, or a vampire and a wolf together, and it would come up something. There's my logo.
And it would be
people
so
in the comments-
shiny. But
And it would be so shiny and buttery. As Bobby called it.
it's I mean, so as a retailer, James.
Mhm.
So the other controversy is Batman 143. They're using AI interior. It's blatantly obvious, but DC's not
Entirely.
Yep.
Yep.
For you, do you buy new comics for your?
Yes,
Do you have a
all
whole
the time.
box? Okay. So let's say these companies start using more and more AI and stuff like that. Will you continue to purchase these books?
No, because to me, it was when. Okay, now I'm gonna date myself a little bit. In the '90s, when they were punching out all these stupid covers that were they were gimmicks, and the AI to me is a gimmick. That's at the end of the day, that's kind of what it is. So no, I would scale way back, and I have scaled back on certain things that start looking too perfect and because the buying audience isn't there, to tell you the honest truth.
Yeah.
The buying audience loves gritty and fun and like the Fathom I bought off of you that you probably did years ago. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And I hadn't seen it, and I knew instantly. I was like, yes, that's beautiful art, So but no, I think that's going to be the biggest check and balance is that you guys have such a powerhouse collecting community, bigger than it's ever been. So even though AI is attacking, you have a defense mechanism set in place with collectors, because collectors don't want to deal with that. We will bitch about it and complain about it because we love drama. Everyone loves drama. But I don't think we're buying it, because that's it's kind of like people buying like that stupid CGC that had a just a film in it, and it dropped for a ton of money.
That yeah.
And buying a banana on a wall years back. I mean, that's just BS crap. That's not real. What's real is you guys drawing and it being purchased by real people that want to put it on the wall behind the camera, have nothing but original art from artists on canvas. And everyone I talk to has the same thing. So they're scared that they'll lose you guys due to feeling like you're getting kicked out. And that's, I think, our biggest concern, is that you guys throw up your hands and say, fuck it. You know what? You're right. A teenager is doing it. And then it's just like the music industry. We go through a dark ages of crap for a while until someone says, okay, let's start drawing again. So that's kind of how I'm feeling.
What do you guys think about what Brandon said? How is this going to affect, do you guys think, people who purchase Spawn? If, say, for example, let's just say, God forbid, they make that a cover.
That's a good question. Before you even say that, why is Todd not speaking today? And I think that's what's pissing people off.
Well, one, instant gratification there, my guy.
Yeah.
Give him time, because
right.
me, I'm gonna give him a week. A week is more than enough.
Yeah. But
Him
that is
not
the
saying
world we live
anything
in.
Him not saying anything today could be a PR thing, or they have to be very careful how to handle this situation.
So let's
I think
go
it's
back
okay for him to not say anything today. Actually, I want them to think it through and let it stew a bit.
So Brandon, as we know, is a big he's a big Spawn guy. He was one of the co-creators of the that Spawn Con they did in Denver last year. for him to go, you know what? Depending on how Todd handles this, it might affect the way I collect my spawn. I have a feeling he's not the only one thinking this. And does Todd care? Because it's just in the bucket of fans, or the ones who don't know what the fuck is going on and they just think it's a cool cover.
Well, I think it's an interesting two points there, and I think I jumped the gun there. What if this cover does come to play? So, and the knowledge is there that this all happened. So now what does the collecting community do?
FOMO.
Unfortunately,
Collected
initially,
as part of the controversial covers.
Oh, there we go. The old Acid-gate, right?
Like Acid-gate. Even I have one of those.
Well, there we go. It was the FOMO. Hey, look what I have.
Look how smiley you got. I got one of those.
I started that shit.
Aaron, what do you think, Aaron, about
that? Sorry, there's like so many things going on. So
what do you think? Do you think it'll affect the way people collect spawn? Those who actually are big fans?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think for sure. I just am really, really curious from Todd's perspective, like what he's thinking, because it could be something where his team went through all this stuff. They looked at it. They were the ones that found it, and I could honestly see him being in his office and then just coming up to him and be like, "Okay, what do you think of this one? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, just approve it. You know, like, and just, I mean, the guy's got probably a million things going on at every second of every day, and like, I would like to think that he's just like naive about the whole situation, and he's just like, oh yeah, like, approve it. It's just kind of like you guys said, it's a drop in the bucket of everything else going on. But if he knew about it, and especially because the original post did say no AI art, and if he goes against that, I think that's what's going to really honestly crush him and his brand. And not crush him, like, it'll hurt him in a lot of ways. It's not going to finish him, but I really think that it's going to hurt him in a lot of ways, because people are going to be like, well, you're not a man of your word then. You said, hey, no AI art, and you're not a man of your word. You went back on what you said and you approved this. How are you okay with that? Especially if you're one of the OGs, bro. You're the legend. You're you know what I mean? And so I just think, yeah, I think it could go two ways, honestly. But
Devil's advocate here.
Yes.
Devil's advocate to what Aaron's saying. Yeah, all these people can say it, but how many of them actually buy spawn that are talking on social media? Are they the collectors?
Well, I think there's people
all the people that are buying spawn right now, do they even know about this? And all the people that are talking about it, do they even collect spawn?
Well, I tell you what, Greg, huge spawn guy. Huge.
Oh, Greg, yeah.
I mean, that fucker opens he does a mailbox, an opening every 2 days with new spawn stuff. Greg, I'm kind of curious. Greg's a good example. Greg, if this shit was to get printed, would it change your perspective of how you would buy your spawn covers, or would you even buy that spawn cover? And I think you're right. I think there's a lot of people out there who are oblivious, who do not know what the hell's going on, who just buy spawn because they've been buying spawn for years.
It's also in their pull box.
It's in their pull box. They don't give a shit.
That's what I got. I got my pull box right here, and it's got all the 350 covers on it.
But Aaron?
I was just going to say too, I mean, this is just my opinion. You guys might not agree, but I've noticed sometimes with social media, it kind of goes back to the social media trend that when something is a hot topic and everyone's outraged about it, a lot of people, like we're saying, a lot of these people might not even be spawn collectors. They might not even be into comics at all, but they know of spawn and they know people are pissed off. So they're going to jump into the pool with everyone else and chime in their little 2 cents because they're a keyboard warrior. And they're like, yeah, you know, and I'm not saying that's necessarily bad, because obviously this cause we are against, you know, so obviously the more voices that are angry about it, I guess it only benefits us. But yeah. I do think there's an aspect of that people in general on the internet, when there's a hot topic going on, they like to just jump in and say their 2 cents, even if they have no idea what's really going on, you know. But I don't know. That's just my opinion from what I've seen on the internet.
Yeah, it is. You know, I completely forgot that Todd did say no AI. And that to me is the caveat.
Yeah.
If he, out of his own mouth, said no AI and a cover that is AI makes the prize, come on, man. We're going to give you that week, Todd, for you to at least go, hey, everybody, I heard the controversial. Unless it comes back and says, I guarantee you it is not AI. I had my people check. I checked, blah, 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 blah. That controversial cover is not AI. If he comes out and says that, what do you guys all think?
You're a load of fucking shit. You just want money.
I
will say that. No,
I will double down on that one.
a lot of people will just say, "Hey, Todd says so. It's fine. Sweep it under the rug and
Nope.
let this pass." Me, Todd McFarlane, you're full of shit. I don't care who you are.
So
But that's me.
I agree with Anna. I think the other thing that is kind of, it's how we're wired, it's how our culture is I could see it going another way too, where everyone's really pissed off about it. Everyone's really angry for about 2 weeks. And then what happens? Everybody forgets about it. And it goes back to how it normally is. It's the same thing with the whole Clayton Crane drama. Remember, everybody was like, Clayton Crane is the worst human being that ever existed. I'm never going to buy another cover from him. You go 2 weeks later on his Instagram and everyone's clawing at the bit to buy whatever original he throws up on his Instagram. It goes back to it's the hype thing, right? It's the biggest, hottest trend. So people jump on it. They're mad. We're emotional creatures. So we're running on that emotion. Once it's over, I'm like, well, I don't really care that much anymore. And I go back to just not caring.
Hey, Joe Doyle's here. Cool.
Joe fucking Doyle.
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 Yep.
We all know who Joe fucking Doyle is.
I go down on it and I get her to sign. I'm like, yeah, I just got Joe's stuff, and she says that Joe fucking Doyle.
Joe fucking Doyle.
I'm like, all right, well, love you, Joe.
But I think that Anna, I think you're kind of right. People will say, well, if Todd said it's not AI, then it's not AI. So case closed. Let's all move on. And Todd wouldn't lie to us. I'm not saying that Todd's a liar. I'm not saying that at all. But if Todd, listen, it's all about this, people. And he's loving the publicity right now. What do they say? Any publicity is good publicity. So at this point, Spawn has been talked about more now than it has in a very long time.
I mean, if you think about it, all these companies have never put a stance whether they're for or against AI, because most of them are probably waiting it out. And you have to think,
look at that guy.
Business is business for them. Ethics don't matter. Here's the thing: even the artists. Oh, Tree of Trouble. Okay, Ryan.
Yeah.
Even the smaller artists. We don't really matter to them. They have all their big names who probably won't even say anything because they need the job. But they're all waiting. They're all waiting when we're gonna say it's okay, and then they're just gonna unleash all this AI shit and cut all the artists because we're just troublemakers. That's what
it's like the damn music industry all over again. I keep coming back to that. We all watched it, grew up with it, and watched it collapse. And none of the artists make money unless you're touring nonstop forever. That's the only way you make money now, and it's terrible. So, I don't want that to happen to this industry.
What would happen if Rob?
Oh my God, that's funny.
What if Rob Liefeld had a Deadpool February, and everybody put in your stuff like that, and someone AI Deadpool, and he came out and said, "Well,
are Liefeld and Todd friends?"
Technically.
Do they have like a personal drama between them? Because I want to see
It's
what
been going
Liefeld
on
has
since
to
the
say.
90s, right?
I need to see what Liefeld has to say about this.
Oh, he'll talk.
He'll talk.
He'll talk. If you've ever met him in person, he'll talk.
He has no problem saying anything.
So see, publicity, people are gonna get that Spawn cover because it's the latest hot thing. I mean, I'm sorry for people who will pay top dollars for it because it's whatever. I mean, you have all these amazing artists you can covers that buy, but let's hope it doesn't make it out there.
Yeah, there you go. Rob Liefeld apparently been using the AI for years. So
and
know.
AI feet are about the
I
same
mean,
as Rob's. That's
Todd,
good.
Todd did say in Rob's defense,
That's fucked.
So
uh,
so let's kind of still in the same topic. Let's kind of change it from the spawn because already we spawned this to death. So
good topic.
as many of you guys know, Pensacon.
Oh,
Ooh.
Uh,
convention.
so
Ooh.
okay, well I will say one thing about PR and publicity. Never heard of this fucking thing. Never heard of Pensacon. I'm not in the circle. I didn't know what the fuck it was until it came up about them using AI for their promotions, and then they accuse somebody. I don't know. Do you want to kind of?
Oh, the Pensacon, the what did Nita call it? The drama of the panhandle or pandal, whatever. Anyway, so Pensacon is a good con. It's a local con for me, but it's about the size of like their max is probably 30K people over the weekend. So if you compare it to MegaCon this year is 190,000 people. So this con is kind of small, right? Oh, the Pensafun. But the thing in TLDR, the short story of is they use an AI generated image for their book and their shirts. Now I call them out because I had personal things with them, but the fact is they are big supporters of artists. They have a lot of big names that go and a lot of big name celebrities, but they have always hired an artist that does the cover, the book cover, and the shirts. This year they didn't. I didn't even go. Another artist brought it to me because it was talked about within the con. AI generate image, but they say it's not. And the owner decided to use their official page to go on a tangent and started blocking people that accuses them, talks against them, and even threatens them to attorney. They have threatened me to attorney and court. His name is Mike Ensley. And I'm trying to give like a quick thing about this because I don't want to like keep talking about it, but it will go into the whole AI and conventions. So they were threatening people, and I call out on their shit. This girl keeps saying that she's the artist. She did it by hand. She explains to everybody how she did it, but she provided no proof. So she did it with Procreate. And Procreate, there's a record feature that's on unless you turn it off. She still couldn't produce. It says it'll take a week. They accused me of AI, and I produced it like right away. So, it's pretty fast. She has no excuse. So she keeps saying that she did this, she's a real artist, and the con owner decided to post her other artwork to prove to people in the comments that she's a real artist. Of course, art community does, when someone's accused, they dig their history, what they've done before, and come to find out this girl has stolen all these images and erased their watermark.
Anna, hold on. So we just got somebody in breaking news. This guy, someone just jumped on the show.
Ivan! Hey, what's up?
Look at this guy.
Oh shit! Fanboy in here. Sorry.
What's up, dude?
I'm
Ivan.
fanboy. He had a hot spawn cover too.
Ivan, I think you're on mute. Take yourself off. This guy.
You're mute.
Yeah, he's already with the cigarette and the coffee. Look at that guy, Ivan. How long you been waiting? I didn't see you. You weren't waiting too long, were you?
No, just a little bit.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yo,
Well,
good morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, to you.
Good morning.
I hit up Ivan. I say, hey, jump on the show. He goes, oh, that's Thursday morning for me. And I'm like,
I was gonna ask you if you can get Ivan on this show.
yeah. So you know what? Since we have Ivan on, I'm going to
Go back to spawn.
I'm going to go back to spawn real quick.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's
We'll
fine.
go knock it around some more.
because Ivan is he's international. This guy over here. So we're going to do this. This is the art that I think that Ivan is another front runner who should have won. And well, let's do it.
Dramatic
what?
pause. We're waiting.
Look at that.
Yeah, I was wondering.
There's
Damn, boy. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I know it's
Such a badass piece.
see
it
all
is
of the art is inspiring.
Jesus.
between Ivan's and Martin's and Aaron's, it's ridiculous. I mean, Ivan, this is one of your top notch work that you did, my man.
Thank you.
It really is. It's inspiring. I think when you see art drawn by the three guys who put in the art today for Spawn and Anna, we already know Anna's stuff. This is the stuff you want to inspire to copy. If you want to copy anything, copy this by visual and try to emulate, right? And don't put in Ivan Tao, Aaron Bartling, Martin Zavala, and let's come up with a Spawn. And that's what we don't like.
It's the perspective and just like I don't know, real art that you guys produce is just so good compared to what's going on. Actually, I mean, it's unreal. I actually hadn't seen that one. That is unbelievable, Ivan. It really
See,
is.
how many are not getting seen? Like I wish they
I-
just post every freaking entry there is or something.
Yeah, I'm surprised because I follow most of Ivan's
I
stuff, and
follow
I
Ivan,
didn't see that.
I saw that one pop up. I was like, holy shit. I saw that one.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I gotta say, I think the way he designed this whole thing and went about it was really stupid, to be honest. I think what they should have done is had people email them. They put it all in a massive database, and they can go through every single one. Because I have a feeling the way social media works and the way Instagram was, I bet you there's a lot of people that had entries that weren't even seen because the algorithm is so jacked up that, like, I bet you there was stuff that was missed, or even like I don't know if you guys knew, but some of the winners, they didn't even follow the guidelines. There was a few guys that won. They didn't even do the Spanuary order like you were supposed to, which was that was following the rules, right? Like you follow the rules, you gain entrance. So, and they didn't even do that. I really truly think they should have had everyone had a mass email. They send the file over. It goes into a database, and they go through the entire thing and make sure that all the checks are balanced. You know, like everything.
I mean, the way he did it, I mean, you can obviously tell it was a publicity thing to get you to follow his email, his newsletter, his Instagram, because any professional that does a contest, even in the other art industry, the contest has always been on the public website. You can also see other people's entries.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. Yeah, it was all like publicity, and
And I think it went way over his head. Again, he was mentioning that on his charity show that he was expecting 5,000 entries, and he got like 30,000 or some crazy number like that, like just insanity. And I don't think his company knew what to do. But it's so sad because I want to see all these now amazing pieces that Todd now has get produced in some fashion then. Either in prints, like send them back to you artists and be able to print them
be careful
legally.
Your prints now.
I know. I've heard about this the whole print thing is an issue too now. So but damn, man, I as a collector I'd be buying all this stuff in a heartbeat. And that's instead we're stuck with maybe a potential AI cover.
And artists ended up making prints of this and selling it. Maybe that's what he wants because it actually makes him look good. Because if you think about it, you printing a unpublished Spawn piece or that's not approved by their company is not official because it falls under legally, if you take it to court, it falls under IP theft. But some people, maybe Todd wants that. Maybe Todd is allowing it. It makes him look better. It's all publicity, social media game kind of thing is what I'm thinking of. But
what I want to know, Ivan, because yesterday you and I were talking, and you were a little unhappy, to say the least. Ivan wanted to go thug on everybody, as he puts it. time for me to take my boy band and go thug on some people here. But Ivan, tell me, what are you thinking? What's your first initial when you saw the list,
Ah,
when you started hearing about the AI? What's your thought?
for me, it's like this. I like thought. Even now, I still pay him a lot of respect because even before coming to comics, he's one of the person that I respect a lot because how he talk, how he inspired the comic world in the business. And I have no opinion with those who win the contest because everyone is fair and they have their reason. Just one opinion I disagree with is the AI one because it's like in my opinion, if you are someone powerful, maybe it's a mistake or your team is like mistaken to choose the AI one. I don't think it's cool because it's actually killing our industry. I mean, for art or to me it's a shame, man, because I'm okay. I never win because it's not the point. I don't think I'm better than the others. You get what I mean? And Todd is Todd. He have his reason to pick who he think he deserves the entry. This is okay, no problem, for sure. But the thing that upset me is I've been fighting with the AI things, and why accidentally or intentionally you pick the AI work is like it's like it's not cool, man. It's like
It's a
I don't know
slap
the
in the
reason.
face.
I can't understand the reason. It's like in Cantonese, I don't know, and I understand Cantonese. Like, it's a bit gao hai.
Oh, guy. I know what
It's
you're
like
saying.
yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know what is because in here some local some publisher they use AI and everyone is like barking at them, But you're talking about the giant in the industry, so and I like Todd because he's like he quit from Marvel or DC in the old days and do his thing. He support a lot of solo artists like indie comic stuff like that. But maybe it's a mistake. But the first impression is very sad. So I was telling Keza, I said if it's happened in my country, I bring my gang to his office and say,
Yeah, yeah. He's like,
what's up?
Ivan's like, he's sending me like pictures of boy bands. He's like, I'm gonna bring my boy band. We're gonna go thug on Image. It's a shame, and I think what Ivan basically says that what happened is basically a slap in the face to all of the artists,
Yeah.
especially to the ones who the three of you guys who put in for the Spanuary. It's a slap in your face. It just, and I hope we are all hoping that Todd does come out, or at least a PR says, "Hey, Mia Copa, we are sorry for what we did. It slipped under the radar. We are removing that entry and we are replacing it with X, right?" And we're of course we're hoping it's any of you three. That'd be fucking fantastic. But if they should just, but if they don't say anything, and I do mean nothing, and just sweep it under the rug, well, Robot 9000 fuckhead is going to win, and the rest of us are going to lose morally, right? Mentally, we lost. And now
Yep.
a lot of us will be deflated and go, wow, so now what? Right?
And we all refer to Todd as Todd Father. Like he birthed an entire generation of artists. It started my collection. That's why I carry Spawn 1 on my wall, is because I respect everything that he did and pulled away. And I think it's an interesting platform that he is just about to he has to do the right thing right now. And I think that's really hard to sit there and be like, okay, you gonna do that or not? And everyone's gonna judge you either way, by the way. So
Well, let's do this. Martin, are you ready
What?
for
Oh,
the
yeah.
giveaway?
Yeah.
Damn, this guy. All right, so
what?
this is what we're gonna do.
Oh, sick.
Alright,
Wow.
So Martin, you see that? So
Wow.
Martin is going
Hold on, I'm
to
trying to-
give this.
yeah.
There we go. He's going to give this away to you commenters, to our fans.
It's
Sorry,
Thick Daddy
Ivan.
Z. It's Thick
Big
Daddy Z.
Daddy
Okay.
Z.
That's
Daddy
like
Z.
that's those words never come out of my mouth.
I will
So-
say it every
You gotta
time you
say it, man. I did this for you, your show. You gotta say it.
you
All
should
right.
blank it, and then I'll just say it.
Okay, Thick Daddy Z is
There
giving
you
away,
go.
is
There
giving
we
away
go.
that piece. Ivan, you can't win. Aaron, you can't win. Anna, you can't win. Sorry, James. You can't win either.
Guys,
And
that's
I
a
can't win
stripper
either. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give a trivia question, and it's gonna be about Martin. Okay.
Thick Daddy Z.
All right.
Thick Daddy Z, bro.
So I know what the answer is. Martin knows what the answer is. So is James, and so does Anna, because he said it in the green room. So the trivia question: the first person to type in what city did Martin? Oh, I'm sorry, Thick
Thick
Daddy Z.
Thick Daddy Z.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What city did he grow up in? What city did Martin, aka Thick Daddy Z, grow up in? That's the question. That's the answer. That no, it's not Colorado Springs. No, it's not Tijuana. It's not Chicago. It's not. I'm sorry. You can't, Anna. You can't. La Torino is not. It's no.
No. I'm telling Zuri Laterino.
Yeah, it's not La Torino. It's not San Antonio. It's not LA. It's not Denver. It's not Chicago. It's not Colorado
We're
Springs.
gonna name every city in
It's
every
not
state.
Las
Cameron.
Vegas. Guys. Oh, wait a minute, Adele. No.
No, you can't.
No, Adele, you can't. No, you can't do that. Ah, you son of a bitch. Okay, wait a minute.
Oh,
All right.
whoa.
Okay, stop.
We have a winner?
It's not Compton, Aaron.
Look at
Okay.
Aaron.
All right, hold on. All right, we got a winner. It's not
We have a
Tecate.
winner.
Joe fucking Doyle. It's not Tecate.
Joe
This
fucking
motherfucker.
Doyle.
It's not
Get outta
Africa
here.
either. All right,
Let
the
the
first
Doyle
person who
watch.
said it. Now it's up to you if you want to give it to this guy. But the first person who said Laredo was Brandon.
Oh,
Because Dale, you don't count. Because I think Dale already knew that.
Yeah, we don't count Dell. That's
Yeah,
cheating.
Dale.
Yes, Brandon.
yeah. that's
Brandon,
cool. I mean,
Brandon,
Corey
so I guess
Strait.
Brandon Corey Straight. I guess I'll give it to you because you probably, you probably got it from Dell, but
Did you
it could.
cheat?
Well, yeah, you probably saw Dell write it, and he's like, "Oh, it's got to be Laredo because Caesar made a big deal about it." Anyways, Brandon, you're the winner, and it only fits because you're
I'm not even on the show tonight. Damn it.
Congrats.
Brandon,
That's
you're such a big Spawn fan, so congratulations.
Hey, I'm gonna
You
write
look
Thick
on-
Daddy,
you
Thick
cheat.
Daddy Z up here.
Can you please?
Oh,
Yo, that's
I
really
will.
sick though.
All right,
Yeah,
Big
bro.
Daddy Z. All right, well, congratulations. That was
It's
was
thick,
awesome.
though, not big. Thick.
yeah. Okay, all right. Wait a minute. Who else did Austin know that? Austin didn't even know. He didn't know.
No, that's a sick remark.
Y'all gotta
He-
fight to the death. Whoever wins takes it.
Well, no, it's Brandon. He won, but I like the fact that I think the Compton and Africa is the top answers.
Aaron.
Had to.
Aaron says Dell. Aaron says Dell says you owe him. So so Ivan, so what are you thinking, man? But the thing is, all this is going on. It's making you guys stronger, right? It makes you just keep doing your shit. It's not going to stop you from what you're doing. You're just going to keep putting the work out there, and maybe one day, like Aaron said, I know it takes a long time for legal to go around and all that shit, but maybe one of these days it'll be, hey, you can't do shit. What's up, Aaron?
No, I was
I
just
like
gonna
how
say,
Aaron
like,
raises his hand.
I don't want to. I think.
So polite. So polite.
I think what's hard right now is that, like, all of us, we already have our voice. We already have our process down. We already have these skills that are established. But I think the hard or depressing part about it is thinking about the upcoming generation and how they're feeling, you know, and like what are they thinking when they look at this AI stuff? Like art is so freaking hard, you know. It's like even, you know, me who I feel like I'm pretty advanced in my skill set, I still struggle often. Like it's always like this tug and pull, and you know, when you're starting a piece, you know, there's so much that's going into it, and these younger artists who are still growing and learning, I can't imagine what they're feeling like, you know, because they're like, we're already like kind of up on this mountain, you know, and they're like way down here. And when they see this, it's like, how do you even keep going on? So I feel like as artists, we really got to come together for the upcoming generation of artists and really come alongside them and be there to encourage them and lift them up and tell them like, you can do it. You know, you're going to have to, we can't lie and say that it's going to be easy, because it's obviously not. Like we've been through many fires and trials ourselves, but just be there to uplift them and to encourage them and tell them like, you can make it. And, you know, you don't let this machine stop you, you know, and just have that voice just to stand against it.
I think Josh has a point. I think this is actually uniting a lot of the artists together because it's under one cause. Instead of kind of, you know, sometimes there's a lot of negativity and toxicity in this in this community, and what's going on right now with all this AI bullshit. It's kind of nice to have you guys all kind of band together, going, you know, we can't allow this, and we kind of have to put our foot down and say we're better than this. So that's a good thing to see, man.
Yeah.
Especially in the day of all variant covers. You know, we've got all these independents coming out, and we're punching out 20 covers, and it's important that some of the vendors don't start going this direction. Stick with the artists, guys. Please keep punching out these awesome covers with these guys.
I'm gonna write AI on this remake.
You gonna what? Oh, hey Brandon. So go ahead and DM Martin your feet pics, and he'll hook you.
No
up.
feet pics. No.
No feet
Oh,
pics.
you draw the line at feet pics, huh? You're a thick Daddy Z, but no feet pic.
Brandon,
Got
so
it.
send him over your
standards.
Brandon. He has standards. Brandon, send over your armpit pics, and he'll send you that pic.
Oh, Billy Madison, you can come shave my armpits.
Thick thighs
So,
only.
what are you guys working on right now? I know you guys all have stuff going on. What do you got going on, Anna?
Well, I was gonna say I have something to say. I was gonna use Aaron's
go ahead.
method.
Oh yes, go ahead.
The thing about the future generations, I mean, like I said this off stream. I mean, there are kids these days in high school and college art. They're required to use AI. Required. There's a requirement. So when you're against AI, what do? You can't stand against it. You have to use AI to pass the course. So we're getting to that point. It's like, what do you do then?
Oh,
so that's something to really think about. Like, and then all the new artists that are growing up, when your reference materials such as Google, DeviantArt, ArtStation is filled with AI trash, what do you do then? And now even art books, they're coming out with comic book guides. There's all AI inside being printed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What then?
Yeah.
So in order to see for me, you know, it's more than just the comic industry. Like when these things are coming out at a really fast pace, what are the solutions? So we have to go back to, you know, where it started, to curb it, to slow it, you know, laws in tech for the Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, Dolly, whatever new shit that comes. Now they have something called Sora AI that does videos. I mean, so, you know, just some things to think about.
So let's do this, because since we haven't even touched. We haven't even touched.
There you go.
Touched.
We have not touched this. So the whole Batman 143
Oh yeah.
is breaking people's hearts. So Ivan, I'm sure you know about this, right? The whole Batman, the inside of Batman 43.
I saw the post from Anna. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
So let's talk. Let's kind of briefly just kind of go like, what the fuck is going on here?
So I actually saw those. I don't know from where, like long ago, months ago or something. Someone mentioned it. I think this was before AI theme was even like hot. I don't know where, but we already knew it was AI, and I was surprised it was even published. The artist's style is very similar to it, but what's published is very inconsistent and not what he typically does or uses it. Saw the post from Anna. Anna is like the new news source. I am not a news source.
The news source, huh?
I'm not. But
What? Because they talk about the nipple here, right? The nipple's all out
well,
of
the
place.
nipple, the muscles. I mean,
They
there
hid
are
they hid the
very
hands. They hid the
well,
hands, right?
well. The thing is, there's art out there that's not normal, right? Like your perfect anatomy or whatever. It's abstract and it's can be whatever. But the thing that gets most people, it's not like his other work. It's not like any of his other work. And it's inconsistent panel to panel, page to page.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the black cat, we're supposed to be Catwoman.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Get that.
telling. I mean, you can find it. There's a whole article about it. But it is, you always have people like, oh, it's DC. They know what they're doing. It's not AI. But I mean, what are your opinions about that? DC, do you think that it slipped? Do you think it was on purpose, or what's your opinion on that?
What do you guys think?
I mean, I personally think it's falling under the same thing as the riot artists guys and Activision and all that stuff. It's just a company. I think the company knew about it, and I think they're just trying to cut corners, and they're slowly implementing it, and they're really doing it. And if it saves them money because they're a corporation, then they're going to do it. And at the end of the day, like people that say they care, like they don't care. They care about this. And that's it. So I personally think they knew about it, and they just don't give a flip anymore. So.
But what does that say about DC Comics? If DC Comics did allow this, and that's a nod to AI, and Todd is also nodding to AI, if nothing's done about it, what's going to happen to retailer variants? What's going to happen to Marvel? What's
That's
can
that's
I
the
can I
question.
say
Yes.
something?
Yes. Go ahead.
It's like this is like a so-called revolution, right? Like after some times, everyone gonna use AI. I understand that, but it's like I don't want to be the smart ass to like, hey man, we should use AI and then can speed up, can save costs. I understand that cost thing is very important in business, and I'm not saying this because I'm an artist. For sure, it affects us a lot, but it's like I don't want to be like after some time, everyone is using AI, and you don't have artists, you don't have musician, and everyone is like same things, same style, everything is so perfect. You don't see the like for I don't know what if you guys get what I mean. It's like if I follow an artist when I was kids, I can see the process. For example, the Dragon Ball guy, which is just passed away last
Akira?
few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, Akira. So you can see maybe when he just begin, he's using this approach. Maybe 5 years later he's using that approach. It's fun to have this. Okay, for example, just like let's say I like Christian Bale in the movie industry. Okay, when he's younger, his acting is like this. When he's older, he have more life experience. His acting is like that. You get what I mean? But in AI, you don't see this kind of stuff. It's like everything is perfect and perfect in copying, or let's say they take the knowledge from other artists' work. Like recently, there's a famous photographer. It's called what again? Zhang something like Zhang, very famous in DeviantArt. Also, I saw her post. Is like a lot of his creation being used in AI, and she is very upset. So it's like a lot of if you're not artist, it's fine. If you're not retailer, it's fine. Normal people they don't bother so much. But for my opinion, it's like if you are part of the communities, maybe at least you have some conscious. It's like it doesn't make sense in the long terms. You get what I mean? I'm old enough. I'm like 30 something, 40. But what about just like what Aaron said? What about the kids? What of those like 19 or 20? They just graduate from art college and everyone can use AI. Yes, it's true. The cost, if one thing is very easy and it can achieve a very good result, after that sometimes everything has become very cheap. Then no one will buy these things no more. You get what I mean? It's like fast food. I don't know if my English is like you
No,
Oh
guys
your
no,
get what I
English
mean.
that's
is
it,
fine.
and I
You
think that's
can
a
buy a
great. Yeah.
yeah. It's nothing special. Like you go everywhere. You eat. You maybe you travel to Europe or French. You know you eat fast food. You don't see the value there. You get what I mean? You don't travel to like maybe you travel to like uh French to UK fish and chip. Sorry, I'm vegan, but for example, and you go there, everything is the same. So and it's very cheap and it's very nice. Then after sometimes there's no fun. You get what I mean? It's like no fun.
Yeah.
Fast food.
Ivan,
Yeah.
what do you think about how would this affect you as a Spawn fan if it does go through? I mean, do you still respect Todd and all that, but you would just be what would you think? I mean, what would happen in your I mean, how would you feel?
In my opinion, I cannot disrespect him because he dedicated a lot in the film industry. You know, he's from Canada or States, but he inspired the fans all over the world, and I'm one of them. Same as the Akira guy. Sorry, my English is that shit. Same as the Dragon Ball creators, Akira. But maybe one mistake, or let's say what he thinks is okay. I cannot say that I will hate him or because in my opinion he do a lot. Just one thing I disagree doesn't mean he's an ass or sorry for the disrespect. But personally I feel like very disappointed. It's like I tell Kesa I will be like emo kid tomorrow with very sad because it's like a few months ago I believe at gym he's talking of not using AI stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, the Singapore artist, the master, he's anti AI stuff like that. But a few months later, the top guy, which I respect so much, is like it's like the one of the person that like Bruce Lee thinks, that one of the person that inspired me so much. It's like, it's like I'm so confused, so disappointed, and it's like I don't know, I don't understand. For
So
me, it's fine. It's like I'm not young no more. But what about this now? What Aaron said for the younger art student graduate, if you talk to these normal people, they don't give a fuck because maybe they're not in art major. They don't. Art is always like people say it's like poor and starving and stuff like that. But we ourselves, we need to like at least a publisher or a channel or editor take a very important part because they need to understand this. So it doesn't fucking make sense, man.
I mean,
it's
for
all
them, it's money.
yeah, it's all money. It also goes based on the parents, if you have parents who care about what their child's future is in this industry and teach them correctly of put in the grind, put in the work, uh, you know, look at these other artists, look what they've accomplished by putting in the time, then they will grow up with those ethics. If you have
Yeah.
if you have parents who don't care and don't give a shit, and the son or daughter comes up to me and says, "Hey, look what I made," they're like, "Oh, that's great. How'd you make that, honey? I put in the computer. Oh, that's good. Yeah."
Yeah, man.
Then
It's like sorry, it's like tomorrow I can get a Lamborghini. So what is the point of my life? It's like so easy. You get what I mean? I don't have to
Hmm.
work very hard.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I get a Mustang. Tomorrow I get three Lamborghinis. It's like
that's
AI.
right.
You get what I mean?
it's
No
we
point.
live in a society where everybody wants to be perfect. And as you guys
Yep.
know, as artists, you guys are not. And you guys are constantly erasing, constantly redoing, constantly trying to get that perfect, and you can't. And that's okay. And if it shows in your work, that's what we want. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, I think just to second that, I think yeah, it goes back to our society being just. I think people are really afraid to fail. You know, they don't want to pursue their dreams, their passions, their goals, and a lot of that I think has to do with parenting too. You know, because they're not encouraging or whatever. But I think as a whole, I've talked to so many people, and that's why I had to get out of UPS. You know, like I talked to so many guys there that were there for 20 something years, and they're like, yeah, I'm just stuck here. You know, I wish I wanted to be a vet or whatever it was. You know,
Yeah.
but I never pursued that passion. You know,
Mhm.
and a lot of it came down to like, well, specifically with art, is fear of failure, because we as humans, like, we hate the feeling of failure, but that's how you grow. That's how you get to where you're at, is going through the million failures in order to get to the other side, to finally you go through the trials of fire in order to become the diamond at the end. You know, you become the sharpened blade through the fire. And but our society is just so like instant gratification. It's not wanting to work hard and then being afraid of failure. What if I try and I don't succeed? But it's like, wouldn't you rather try and give it your all, and then at the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed or whatever, you can say, man, I gave it my all, I gave it a shot, it didn't work out, but at least I don't have regrets. And that was me. That's why I had to get out of UPS, because I knew that I couldn't stay working in a warehouse the rest of my life. I just couldn't do it. I knew that there's so much more in life, and every person was given this gift and ability for a reason, and it's not to be wasted doing what you don't love. And it's not even about always like the money or whatever. You know, it's about doing your God-given ability and talent and pursuing that. So I just had to say that 2 cents. I think it's really a bummer to hear when people don't pursue something because they're so afraid to fail. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if it stems from parenting or school or whatever, but it's like, try, give it your all and just try it. You know, like you're never going to come out the other side if you don't just give it a try. So, yeah.
Fear is strong. Fear is debilitating for many. And for some reason, people put too much emphasis in fear. And whether it be a teacher, a parent, a loved one who says, you don't want to do that, it doesn't pay any money.
Mhm.
This is what you want to do. And then they go out through their whole life, like Aaron said, and they're like, why the fuck did I do that? I'm so unhappy. I have money, but I'm so unhappy. And that starts at a very young age. And we have to try to instill the hope to the young ones and give them the support. And you can be anything you want to do. I will support you as long as you are happy and as long as you are healthy. We will make this. So I want to ask this question to you guys. So Josh is asking to all you artists out there, if this AI cover gets published, will it be harder energy wise for you to draw Spawn characters? Let's start with you, Ivan. Go ahead.
Then I don't draw Spawn no more.
That's so you're done. You can say right now,
Yeah, it's
I'm not drawing Spawn anymore.
Yeah, can I give some grandmom story? It's like for example, when I got my first DC comics, I was so happy. I was so stressed. I was like smoking a lot. I was like, tomorrow I came out on bed, I was very happy because I can draw DC, you know, a lot of experience, and I'm very stressed. And we did some with 8 of 9 cover of this rope. So imagine that, for example, this Spawn cover, I never take part in any art contest for like 10 or 15 years, and it's taught. So I adjust my schedule and try to, you know, prove some things, or prove my passion, or prove to him that I like his thing, I respect his thing, and to my fans. So if like there's a lot of experience, a lot of what's it called, a lot of sweat and blood to get this piece done. Maybe you get what I mean. So if you imagine that if tomorrow the publisher like they can just use AI. So for the fans, why you want to pay like I don't know $20 for the remark or signature? Do you want to pay that? For me, I don't want, because you don't pay for the artist bitter and sweet and like, let's say for example the spawn is like is appreciate your kind words, but it's like I don't go through it very easy. I delay some deadline. I very very stressful. I smoke a lot. You know, this kind of blah 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 stuff, and only achieve the result that some of you say is pretty nice. So this is the point that let's say in future it got published. Some fans like it. They want me to sign or make a remark. You pay the dollar there for this value. You get what I mean? I'm very bad in English. But if like you just key in some keywords and make a very very good art, for me I don't want to pay the, for example, some mixed UFC for example, 5K to watch the robot fighting. I don't want. I want to see like maybe for example this Olivella or recently you guys watch. I didn't really watch. I was a highlight there because very busy. The Dustin Poirier, you see his up and fall. He's already and he's almost lost and he come back. This is a human thing. You get what I mean? If everyone is so perfect, so robot, why want to pay 5,000 to go to the UFC? For example, if everything is robot, is AI.
Yeah.
I cannot see the fall or the McGregor. The Conor, he's a good guy. Now he become a cunt. Dustin Poirier, how he fight through. You get what I mean? It's like everyone is very good body, very good skill, very high technique, but it's all robot. So it's not human. It's like it's like what's the point, man? Why in future why you want to spend this kind of money? You don't help the. This is my opinion from the other side of the world. You get what I mean?
So you're done with Spawn. This was your blood, sweat, and tears, and you're like, I'm good.
Yeah, for sure, because it's like you for example, it's like you love your father so much and end up he's a criminal and you feel I don't mean thought. I mean this is how I feel. It's like Bruce Lee. Oh he's in the end I find out he's a asshole. So very and I don't mean thought. I mean something like that. You get what I mean? It's like you don't have the power to do it no more. Yeah, so I just focus in those editor to, like for example the Ben is very good to me, or some editor. But why don't I focus in this part of the business? If you get what I mean.
It totally. Listen, I'm going to go over to you, Aaron, next. But I think we all can kind of relate when you put in time. It's like if I was to build something out of wood and I spent weeks on it and I give it to the guy and he goes, that's kind of shitty. And I'm like, oh, or a guy that I emulate as a wood builder. Like, what do you think? And he's like, it's not that great. As a matter of fact, I think it's probably the ugliest thing I've seen. It's like, oh, you're an asshole. You know what I mean? Instead of going like, hey, you tried or whatever it is, I get that. So Ivan, I don't blame you. How about you, Aaron? What are you thinking?
Man, I go back and forth with it. I think it's, to be honest, I can't really give a hard answer yet because I'm waiting to see what his response is going to be. I think if he rectifies this and at least comes out and maybe puts out a statement and admits like, hey, I didn't vet this process thoroughly enough. I made a mistake. And as a man, like, I respect that. I'd say like, hey, you came out, you apologized for it. And I think maybe I'd be still cool with doing, working on that in the future. But I would say if it goes the opposite direction and he knew about it, it comes out, everything gets approved, he doesn't really care. I mean, I guess I was raised at like, hey, if you say you're going to do something, like be a man of your word, And if he put out a post that said, hey, there's going to be no AI art, and you're not standing by that, I don't respect you anymore. You lost my respect, and people might say that's silly or whatever, but it's like I was raised with values and ethics, and I was raised that like, hey, if you say you're going to do something, stand by it, or no one's going to respect you, because they're going to think, oh yeah, Aaron, yeah, he says he's going to do this all the time, but he doesn't follow through with it. He's not a man of his word, so I can't respect him. So I think that's kind of how I would look at it, and it would make me like, well, if he doesn't respect his IP, he doesn't respect all these other artists, then why would I even care or have any inclination to want to work on his characters or his in the universe he's created? So yeah, I guess to answer your question, yeah, I probably would kick that can.
Just kick it to the curb. But once again, it all goes back. And Anna, if you got a hold on. So let me ask Anna first. Anna, if you got asked by them to go, hey, would you mind drawing Spawn and blah 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 blah? Would you be like, sure, because it's work and it's money, or would you go, you know what? No. Or before you answer, or is it based on what Aaron said? It all depends on all this works out, and if they come out and say, hey, sorry, we're wrong, or if they don't say anything, what would you do?
Are we talking about getting hired for Spawn cover, or are we talking about commissions?
Let's say, for example, you put in for Spawnery and you did this and you put a badass cover and everyone loves it and you didn't get picked.
I mean, for me, I'd also wait and see, because people do make mistakes, and I'm hoping that it was a mistake. So I think I'm more along the lines of Aaron too, that wait and see before I decide. But if they do allow this to go through, even if someone were to pay me to do a commission of Spawn, I won't do it.
Oh.
But that's me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but for me, it's also easier because I don't have a family or anything, so it's easy for me to just say no to these things, But yeah,
I think we're going to be on. I think we're going to be on Spawn watch for another reason. Actually, I think we're going to be on Todd watch. Right? We're going to see what is Todd going to. We say Todd as if, but Todd has no problem being in front of the camera. As a matter of fact, he loves the camera.
Yes, he does.
He has no problem getting in front of the camera and say, "Hi, I'm Todd McFarlane, and I fucked up, and here's my statement." That's who Todd is, because he has no problem saying, "Hey, look at this and this, blah blah blah." So if we do not get that, and if we get a written statement, does it matter to you guys if it comes out of Todd's mouth himself on camera, or does it matter if it just a written statement posted on his page and all that?
I think as a fan, I need to hear it from Todd. I have been a fan of his. I go to his charity events. I collect Spawn from Spawn 1 and on. I've got 350 like I was showing sitting here. I've got them all. If he allows this, he's made so many mistakes that's okay. And I think it's like looking up to a dad at some point and that's why we call him the Todd father, because it's in some sense, if he made the mistake and he admits it, it almost is more powerful in some sense, because we are human. We are going to screw up. We're going to fuck up. But I will tell you though, like, he can't take the easy way out. It would be like, I idolize Ivan. I've never met you. I've never seen you in person, but I idolize your work. But if you all of a sudden turned around and did an AI cover accidentally because you got lazy, I would be so disappointed. I would be like, what? No, not him. And then that's how I'm feeling with Todd. Like, he may not have known, but if he doesn't do something in a week or two, that's going to speak volumes for me.
What do you guys think about AIs and Kickstarters? Would it be backed? Do they get backed? I don't know.
Oh yeah, they do. Hell yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't know if so AI, Kickstarter has released this thing. As long as you say that it's AI, you'll get a pass. That was their rule. And most of these guys, there's some like infamous ones where they don't say it, but it still gets backed anyway. It's pretty obvious the covers are AI. They get back the what was it, $20,000 to $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think one of them did test that they put out that it's AI. People still backed it. So it's like people are gonna buy what they want to buy and what they like seeing. So what else can you do there, especially if they're honest about it? So it goes back to the whole, how about we don't let these programs use our data? And that'll stop, it won't stop everything, but at least we get to opt ourselves out.
Yeah, because it's gonna come to a point. It's gonna come to a point where, like, obviously we know technology only gets better, right? So once the data is at a point where it no longer makes 15 fingers and it can replicate someone's style perfectly, that's scary for me, man. Like thinking like one day, geez, people are gonna be like I can't imagine going online all of a sudden and someone posts something and they're like, oh, that's Aaron's new cover, and can you imagine? I'm like, I didn't create that. I didn't do that. And you're like, wait, you didn't do that? And I'm like, yeah, I literally didn't do that. And then it's like I get in this war of like I'm fighting the machine virtually of like trying to convince people that I'm the real. Like, it's like the Spider-Man, like all like, wait, who's?
They're all pointing at each other, right? Right.
And that's what a lot of the big artists, the big creators are going through right now. People going left and right, seeing their style, because name and style kind of go together. You got this person's photography style, this person's writing, this person's art style. I mean, there's always a name attached to it. That's why they need our names for it.
Yes. Yep.
So when with all these big names fighting, and then people are like, hey, I just saw this piece you saw that you did of this character naked. I didn't do something of this character naked. There's always gonna be like people who use this shit for evil, right?
So that brings me to my question. Ivan, have you been accused of using AI?
No.
Never? Right?
No.
Aaron?
Because my style is more like brushstroke. Yeah.
No, your styles, we all know, and I'll say it again, and I've said every single time I have these guys on the show, you can tell an Ivan right off the bat, right? Yeah. You look at it, you go, that's an Ivan Tao, straight up. I could look at an Aaron and go, that's an Aaron Bartling. I'm getting that way now with Anna as well. I go they all have their each styles. Aaron, have you been accused of have you ever used an AI?
No, because I mean, like even like my digital covers, like most people think, like if I'm painting digitally, it's just because I'm so painterly, people just assume, oh yeah, that was all traditional, and I'm like, no, actually, I painted it all digitally. It's just it has a very painterly look.
Yeah.
So no, I personally have not had any accusations because I don't have that insanely overly rendered, everything looks perfectly flawless style. So, and that's kind of the look of it.
How about you, Anna?
You both have a very unique style that I can point out. That's Ivan's, that's Aaron's. Like I can tell. Mm-hmm. For me, I only been accused of AI once because of the Pensacon shit. They did that to retaliate. But for me, I think people still kind of get confused with my work because I'm still in the phase of trying out new things. But when I draw girls, people can tell it's mine.
Oh yeah, that Vampirella one that's like you got the hand down and everything. Yeah. Like that's on. Oh my god, what a great.
But
cover.
Like even some of my covers, like the Lilo one, that's a style that's completely different from what I do with the female covers. But the fundamentals are still the same. So I think some people are kind of confused with like, but anyway, some people still can say like that's an Anna piece. I still time to time get people compare me to other artists, but I think I'm just newer. I don't really have a defined style. I don't know. I would need to ask more people about that. But I have been accused of AI because of the Pensacon shit.
Well, according to Austin, he can tell by your eyes. on some of the
Yeah.
artists that you do. You know, and it's true with Aaron, the color with the 100% with the lighting, and Ivan. For me, every time I see Ivan's work, I think 1930s, 1940s noir, actually 1920s. Every single time I see his piece, I see that French inspiration of a poster for a bottle of wine, right? Or something. I see it right away. I can see where his influence goes. And that's great. But when you see AI, you can't do that. And that's the human personality that you guys all put in a piece that many people who don't give a fuck don't care that is not in an AI rendered piece of art. And I even hate to use the word art, but it's in a drawing. And I
Yeah,
hate to
man.
use the word drawing.
How they say it's an art.
It's
Maybe
not.
it's a
It's
picture.
a
It's okay.
generated
Piece of art. What do you-
image. It's a
it's not
generated
art.
image.
It's a generated image.
It's an image.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
man. Yeah, man.
I mean, it's generated image or a prompt.
I guess the satisfaction I have, I guess, with people that do the AI stuff is just knowing that at the end of the day, you know, you can talk all the smack you want, whatever, but you are not a fully realized human, if that makes sense. Like, you have not gone through the trials, you haven't gone through the years of developing your skill, your craft. So I'm always going to be, I'm not trying to come off like pretentious or like I'm better than anybody, but like, we are always going to have that fulfillment that they will never have, because, and to me that gives me some sort of satisfaction, I guess, in knowing that, like, yeah, and really when it comes down to it, I think a lot of these people that say like, oh, they don't care, they will care, because they're always going to have that empty part of them. If they're really seeking this art career and this artist venture, they're always going to have that hole inside of them that's not going to be fulfilled, because they know that they didn't go through the journey. They took the easy route. We took the hard route. So we're always going to have that fulfillment, and that to me gives me some sort of satisfaction to know, like, all right, bro, talk all the smack you want. I know when you put your head down on that pillow, you're thinking, bro. I'm sleeping and you're thinking, and that gives me peace. But
Are you sure though? I really don't. Well, I don't think they care.
maybe some people truly don't care. Yeah, like some really crazy, like psychopathic or narcissistic people, maybe they don't. But I bet you there's a good majority of people out there too that do wrestle deep inside of them. Because, like I said, it goes back to every person who has that God-given talent and ability, and were to use it. And if they're faking it, so to speak, they're not going to be fulfilled. They're not going to. They can lie through their teeth and say that they are, but they're not. That's why, like, all these people that are multimillionaires, why do you think they're some of the most unhappy people on earth? You ask them, they're like, you could buy anything you want, and look how unhappy you are. A lot of these guys kill themselves because they personify themselves like they're so happy, they have it all together, but inside they're nothing but an empty vessel, you know. And so I guess that's
That's so deep.
No, but it's good though. It's legit. You know, that's
But I have a question to Ivan and Aaron, really.
Yep.
Let's say this Todd AI thing goes through. What if your retailers who hire you start using AI for their covers? What would you do? What would you think? Because you know it's gonna go down that route if the Todd father allows that to happen.
Oh, he's going to open the floodgates, right?
That's the thing. Like, I told some people, like, you have to be careful of what route or things you say, especially if, let's say, a cover or image that you receive might be questionable. You have to think what impact it'll have in the comic industry. For someone like Todd Father, who has a big name, you know, this is gonna change the game a little bit. I mean, you'll have the retailers who will continue hiring real artists because it's ethical and it's respect, but you see, you know, they're always the ones that it's just for money. Business is business. They want to feed their family too, and if it's to cut costs, and people are still buying junk anyway. Why not go down that rabbit hole? Like these people doing Kickstarters. There are so many people who were tempted to use AI, but out of respect of the artists that didn't. If the top father says so, then what?
Who wants to answer this first? Go ahead, Aaron.
So what about? Sorry,
Oh no, go ahead, Evan. Go ahead, Evan.
that's okay. It's okay. You first.
All right. I guess, like I was going to bring this up earlier, but I think that if it does, go down that road, I think the importance of being able to work traditionally, we might go through an art revolution where it comes to a point where the people that can work traditionally, you are the Mercedes, you're the Ferrari, you're the because then say, I want that because that's original and you're able to do that. And all these other people that just put in a prompt or work digitally, and I'm not taking anything away from working digitally. I work digitally every day. But I'm just saying that, like, if you're able to create a tangible piece of art, I feel like that's going to come to a point where it's like it's like a currency. It's like gold, that you can hold in your hand, and people are really gonna want that. So I feel like the importance of being able to work traditionally and produce work in that way, it might really benefit a lot of artists down the road, and that's why I'm glad I'm now working traditionally in a lot of ways, because I'm going to be able to offer that as a service as well, in addition to the digital stuff. So.
How about you, Ivan?
Yeah. What's the question again? I just keep reading.
If Todd were to let this go through, and there will be retailers start using AI, how would you feel? What do you think? What if the retailers that you work with start using AI for their covers instead of hiring you, or hiring alongside you because they want to keep you? What would you think, and how would you feel? Like, what's your opinion on that?
Easy. I don't do their work.
Yeah, but like, what if most retailers are gonna jump on that train? Like, what about your living? Paying your bills and everything. What are you gonna do? I know this is yeah.
I'm a little bit more rude. I'm like a bit more tough. It's like I have family, yes. Everyone have family. I need to buy it. I want to buy a Porsche. I want to buy a Ferrari, yes. But
Bugatti.
I have my pride. You know what I mean? It's like
he's a man of honor. He's a man of honor, right?
I don't be a cunt, man. It's like if you're using AI, it's like you dating my girlfriend and you want to be my buddy. Is like fuck no, right? Logic is like this, so
I love
make
your
sense to
logic.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wow.
Hard.
It is. You know what, guys? This AI thing, as we all know, it's not going away. Unfortunately, it's going to make your guys' hard life a little harder, because we all know AI keeps adapting. Next thing you know, the fucking four fucked up fingers starts becoming more and more normalized.
Oh, they have perfect
It's already
hands
have
right
that
now.
So it's like, what can we do? We're just hoping that the people who support you guys will just eventually say, I will back up my artists, and I will never ever buy anything that is AI generated. As someone says, Brandon says he's had people who will buy the prints because it's just affordable, and they don't care, and it's just very cool looking. They don't give a shit who drew.
It's all over conventions right now, and people don't even realize it. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's been all over conventions, and you guys don't even realize
Didn't
it.
even know about it. Yeah, there you go.
But is that all the cheap crap? Is that all the fluff? Is that all the junk? And is the real going to always prevail? And I really do believe, and I have to believe that, as a collector, as a retailer, as your guys' art makes it all work. This is fluff. This is shit. It's not gonna go away. But if it's not this, it's something else. I feel like there's always something that's trying to take. Like the economy could bust entirely, and then we're all out of work. I mean, comics aren't cool anymore. Boom, that's it. But it will the authenticness that you guys bring will always prevail. I guarantee you, it will because it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. It's like when Dave Grohl back in the day, he did a commercial, and he walked up and he started pushing this button, and he looked at his producer and he's like, "So this is music, huh?"
Yeah.
And then it's Dave fucking Grohl. No one changes Dave Grohl, and he's the rock and roll father, and he's still doing it. And now all the crap passed, and things are doing well in music again, and I love it. And you guys are you're going to be the strength because you're going to keep giving us all the art, and people like me, which are the collectors and the sellers, we're going to support you. End of story. Period. Fuck AI. That's how we feel, and that's how it really does come down to that. So
What it's
sorry,
it's very simple. I
little
mean,
stand up.
Ivan, what did you have? What you wanted to say something?
I forgot. It's like agree with Aaron and James. It's like you work your way up. The Ferrari is still Ferrari, right? Everyone can buy a affordable car, but you in your heart you like if you like a Lambo or a Ferrari, is like just like Aaron said, you paying a lot, and those who want to buy a cheap things, you cannot force them because there's a right, and it's more affordable. But you just work your way up to become the Ferrari or the Lambo or the Porsche or whatever, you know. So the buyer will still buy it. This is what my opinion. You get what I mean? It's like
It's the same reason why a lot of people like James who buy OAs, right? Because they not only do they love your work, but if they can own the original piece, I mean,
yep,
that's
That's a whole new level.
that's a
It's like
whole other level. And there's
because
people out there who don't give a fuck about the OA. They just don't.
no, and they love the prints, and that's okay. But there's going to be so many people like me that want to go and look at that piece that's sitting on my wall and say, that is probably 30 hours of somebody's life sitting
yes,
there.
yes, yes.
And that's just on the canvas, not even planning it and figuring it out. So
But
no, that's amazing to me.
you have to also understand though that a lot of people are not like you guys who can afford the big pieces or investing to the artists. A lot of, especially at the cons, it's mostly the younger crowds or people who want to be there. Of course they're gonna go for that $10 print or whatever it is that might be AI. And then not a lot of artists are like us either, because I'm also thinking about my artist alley friends who sells dollar buttons, $3
Hmm.
bookmarks, $5 prints, and they're getting out, beat by these AI people. But
Yeah.
but the thing that does prevail is those who have their own IP, people who have their own like brand of things, that's their identity, and that's hard to have AI replicate. So those are more unique. And I always tell people, just with this, also build an IP, and you can make a living off that too, instead of comics or whatever. Have
Can
other
I
routes. Yes.
yeah, I mean, okay, I got what you mean. It's like you're talking about the Ferrari things. So what about you know, your friend is like they're selling few dollars for their hard work. But is it possible that you guys we are the real artists, right? So if your personality is strong, you can meet your fans. Is more powerful than those AI guy who work behind it's kind of like hide behind the computer and provide super cool work. So maybe this is a selling point. It's like you get what I mean. It's like people like you, and if you want to fight those $10 print in it from AI, but you and your friend is like the real human, and if your personality is good, is strong, I
Yeah.
think for me people will support you more than those people that hide behind the scene
Yeah.
and generate
It's also the fans, the collectors, the ones that stand behind
the
us too. It all matters. Like everybody in the comments, whatever your stance is, supporting us since the beginning, or new collectors, just make people aware, and keep supporting, and that's how we're gonna fight, I guess. And
It's really-
besides the whole law thing too, but
I tell you what. So we usually end in 2 hours. And I expected this to happen. We went over an hour and 2.5 hours, and still have people in here and all stuff because this is always such a hot topic, and it will continue to be a hot topic. And there's going to be a new AI thing is going to come up. It's going to get people all freaked out. So right now, we're going to be waiting as a comic community, and as the artists, and as the collectors and the buyers. We're going to wait to see what Todd Father says, if he says anything at all. Now, this is the question. What is the statute limitation? How long do we give Todd to respond?
I'm on the whole week thing. I give a week.
So you give a week. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, given how long it took just to announce the winners for song,
Oh yeah, the winner thing was
I would err on the side of Todd is not. He's like in his own little world, and his team's probably good doing a million different things. So I would imagine that this is not like on the top of their list of things they need to put out right now. But I mean, I would say like in the next 2 weeks or something.
All right.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks your max. Ivan, what about you? When do you think? What if you don't hear from him? I mean, what's your time limit? When do you want to hear from Todd?
I don't know, man. I don't really understand the system in the States. So as long as you reply, but for me, I don't give a damn no more.
Oh, Ivan's like,
oh damn, you're just
Ivan's just done. Ivan,
oh my god,
are you selling that original piece?
No, man, no.
Digital.
Oh, it's all digital.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a sketch for that. But I don't think I want to, because I cannot be comment on him and myself. His creation is disrespectful, right?
Well, I tell you what, Ivan's a man of the people, man. You heard him. You heard him first. You can't be with his girlfriend and his best friend at the same time. That's what I got out of all this. Ivan will MMA your ass and go thug if that's the case. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna end the show, and we're gonna give each person because I know you guys always have shit working. You're working on covers. I see a lot of Thundercat stuff out there. I see a lot of stuff going on. So I'm gonna start with you, Aaron. I'm gonna put you here. Let's go with you. Let's see what are you peddling now? What's got going on?
Just work-wise in general, you're asking?
Yeah, man.
Can't tell.
What do you got going?
Well, I just finished Something's Going to Children, so I'm super excited for that to drop. First cover. I was supposed to do one like forever ago, and it always fell through. And Boom is like very strict on their retailer program and like who gets in. So it finally worked out. So finally did my first cover with Erica, which I'm super excited about. So that's going to be dropping at San Diego, which will be cool. And then I've been working with Boom a lot. They just hit me up. Berserker is coming out with a new series. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. But yeah, so I'm doing a Berserker cover, which I'm stoked about. And then a lot of TMNT. Go figure, right? So TMNT is coming out with, they have the Black, White, Green series coming out. They have the Alpha series coming out. They have TMNT #1. They have TMNT, the 40th anniversary coming out. So I'm working on all of them. So yeah, so I have a full lineup of all TMNT stuff. And then just some smaller titles with Thunder Comics. They're the guys that did Eternus. I don't know if you saw me Eternus stuff, Circus's books. So they're the same publisher. So I'm doing a series. I'm working on covers for them for a series called Never Wars that's coming out next year. That's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, and then just private commissions and stuff. So yeah, if you're not following me, if you're new to my work, you can follow me on just Facebook, Aaron Bartling, or Instagram. I'm on the gram. But yeah, hopefully that kind of gives some updates on what I've been up to. So.
Yeah, man. And hey, Aaron, by the way, you look happy as shit. getting out of LA, man. Getting out of that. You look happy. You look nice and healthy, and you're very busy. So I commend you for be able to jump on. I know you were chomping at the bit to talk about this, so thanks for jumping on.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Thank you.
All right, let's see. How about this guy right here? How about you, Thug? What are you working on?
That's it. Cat. Boom.
Street Fighter for Xion. Street Fighter comics cover, and some TMNT as well. And can't remember. Sorry, Thundercat, and I will
That's it.
got GI Joe Skyboard for
Nice.
Jason.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I work everywhere, so
One day,
Yeah.
Ivan's gonna
so
get his
Aaron
visa.
sorry.
You're gonna get your visa fixed
Visa,
and you
yeah,
come
yeah,
down
yeah.
to the States. Yep.
Yeah, soon after I done my personal stuff. This year is a bit more troubling because a lot of personal stuff ongoing, and then we'll be back to States as soon as possible.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
That's gonna be a party. Once this guy to the States, we're all gonna throw a little party for you. All right, here we go, Anna. What do you got going?
I don't really do a lot of covers. Right now I'm working on a few Kickstarters. I guess a title that people know would be Gun Honey, Vampirilla, and Red Sonja,
Nice.
and more Lady Death. But yeah, I've congratulations, Aaron, on your Something's Killing the Children. And yes, they are very hard. I was supposed to do a cover, but they kind of botched me.
No.
Yeah, it's one of those cases like long ago, so it happens. But, big congratulations on that. That's exciting.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
I think that's all I have going on, and I'm working on like
Thank
my
you.
art books and stuff. So I try to make time for my own stuff, more or less.
All right.
But yeah,
All right.
Gun Honey.
You're free for commissions.
I am. I don't know what cons you guys are going to, but I'll be in Huntsville, Pop Culture Expo, and C2E2. Aaron, you gonna go C2E2? You guys going to C2E2?
Yeah. I'll be at C2. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you later.
And so is James. I think James, you're going, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I will be there.
There. We'll see each other.
Alright.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
gonna be seeing each other more and more. Ivan just needs to come to the States.
Absolutely.
Ivan's got to come visit New Mexico, so I could. We can go Thug, Ivan, the boy band. We can put the boy band, put the boy band back together. Apparently. All right, James, what do you got going on, man? Pimp yourself.
Let's see here. Doing my positivity stuff on Comic Uprising on the Instagram side of the world. I'm just in absolute honor of sitting in with you guys as artists. I'm in awe at what you can do. Like I said, you see the sketches behind me. I'm trying to get better every day, but I'm not looking to be an artist. I'm just inspired by you guys. And thank you for being you guys and your talents, because that's really what it's about. I love selling your art. I love doing everything that I do, connecting with the community. And Caesar, you're my bro. So, I thank you for having me on as a co-host again. Appreciate it.
Of course. Big shoes to fill for the big man, but he's out there doing his thing with his family and all that. Wow, what a show, huh? It was everything that I wanted it to be. I dreamt of this night. Actually, no, I didn't. Not at all. Not at all. But I will say next week, we're going to have Murat Michaels. First time on the show. We're going to have Sean Forney. And we're going to have Greg Haw, which he did an exclusive for that. I don't know if you saw Spawn. He did that Spawn, the poo Spawn.
Oh, okay.
And I got to admit, it is pretty cool. I'm not Murat probably knows now. I'm not a big poo guy, but then again, I'm not a big modern guy, obviously. So
it's just the memes. It's funny.
It's
funny. That's why.
He is clever. We're going to talk all about that next week, and his inspirations and all that stuff. Because from where I understand, he pumps that shit out quick. Like when the whole Oscar stuff happened with the slapping, that's what bitch had it out like the next day. Yeah,
he told me it's like the moment it hits, people send it. He just turns out right there. That's how he makes his money.
But thank you guys all. This was a fantastic show. So much talent. My God, we have the talent on here between.
Oh,
It's a lot. It's a lot. And then this guy Thursday morning, Ivan's in the future. So
Yeah.
Ivan will be the first one to tell us if Todd actually if he apologizes. You'll know before anyone else because Ivan lives in the future in this mystic land. Once again, you guys can find me on the Instagram if you want a voiceover for any of your reels. I'm your man. So I'm here for you. Also, I think that's it. Wow, look at that. There's still a lot of people in
Martin
here.
just disappeared.
Well, Martin, I hit him up. He had a phone call. You know how that goes. If he's on the phone,
Ah.
you take a phone call, you disappear, and who knows? He's probably having his burrito or.
Yeah.
but that was a pretty badass giveaway you did. So
No,
Yeah,
well,
that was
listen,
really sick.
that's very nice of him to do that giveaway. And
Yeah.
congratulations, Brandon, for winning that. Make sure you hit him up, send him the pit pics, and he'll send that over to you. And Ivan will be paying the shipping. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys. Oh, do you have something to say?
Nope.
Nobody? Okay, we're all good. All right, Aaron, do you mind staying on because I want to talk to you for a second? Actually, if you guys all want to stay on after this, that's great. Just to say my last couple of words. Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Hey, as Ivan does, thanks to guys, and we'll see you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night, guys. Thank